Welcome to African Voices. I'm Madowo in Lagos, Nigeria. We're on the set for a music video for one of Africa's biggest superstars and our next changemaker, Davido. I'll tell you about what started his 11-year reign in the continent's music industry, as well as his growth into becoming a global sensation. After having to deal with a personal tragedy, he's back on the scene with a new album, and we're gonna be delving into all of that and more. Come along.
I'm Africa's biggest superstar. It's your boy Davido, and I'm a change maker.
Today, Afrobeat superstar Davido is filming videos for some songs of his new album, Timeless. This is the second music video set we've been on, and there's a lot of people here, a lot of gear, stylists, designers, fashion, electrical. I didn't realize how much work goes into it, just a 2-3 minute video. This is one complete set that's come together, and you could film an entire movie in here. It's just for a short music video. Timeless is the 30-year-old's fourth studio album since he ventured into music 11 years ago. Thinking what space of mind you were in when you were making this album?
Man, this album, I'd say it's very special, and I'll say this album probably had like 3 phases. You know what I'm saying? It happens every time with artists where you think you finished an album and you're like, nah, let's change something. But you know, obviously my situation was different. Last year, I think like around November, we was ready to drop. But I took a break, so you know we couldn't drop. You know what I'm saying? Obviously because of the situation that happened. So like that's why I say this album really had like different phases. You know, to me, I think the first cut I had of this album was probably like last year summer. I was ready to go, and then what happened? Something happened, and then we had to delay again, and then delay again. But I feel like this final piece that we managed to finally put together has a piece of every phase that I went through recording this album.
The 17-track album features multiple artists, including British-Nigerian rapper Skepta, Grammy Award-winning singer Angelique Kidjo, and Nigerian recording artists the Cavemen.
It's really just an album that I know in years to come, if you interview me. That was the mindset we went to when we were picking the songs, when we were arranging the music. We didn't go in, we're like, we have to drop an album. We took our time. Artists as well. So one cousin of mine just came to me one day and was like, yo, you've been writing all these crazy songs. Why don't you just do it yourself, And I tried it once. I did a song back when, and the biggest rapper at the time, Madowo, my manager was his cousin, so he gave me a verse. So I just dropped it like a joke, like in the club, and I went back to school. So I went back to school for about a month, and then cause my school was like an hour away from the city. So I couldn't really come to the city all the time. So I had a friend that left the city and came to school and was like, yo, that song is huge now. I'm like, what? And then from there, it kind of molded me to being an artist, and that's when I really knew, like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
In 2012, Davido released his first album, Madowo. It was a commercial success. He says a lot of songs on that album were inspired by personal experiences.
Obviously I was going through some things at that moment with my father because he wasn't really keen on me being a musician. And I hadn't finished school, so that record was definitely off experience.
You mentioned your dad.
Yeah.
For our international audience, your dad is a very successful businessman here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And so he was not keen on you being a musician.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say he wasn't keen on me being a musician. He just really wanted me to go to school to have something to fall back on. But I wouldn't say, no, he didn't hate the music. But at that time, he just didn't see the vision, I guess.
Has he been surprised by how successful your music career has become?
I'm sure he has. I'm sure he has, man. I won't say surprised. We're a very prayerful family. So, like, I know they always pray for me, and he always keeps me in his prayers. He prays for me literally morning, afternoon, at night. So I knew that, with God behind me, with a good team around me and with just good music and just good vibes, I always knew that, you know, I'd get somewhere with the music.
He was right about going places with his music. Since starting out, he has earned a lot of accolades, including winning multiple local and really broken through internationally in Western markets.
Yeah.
And you are one of the people who, I think, the success of Fall, for instance, it hit the R&B charts in the US, Shazam charts. What is the impact of that, do you think, on your music, but also on Afrobeats globally?
We didn't go into the studio like, we have to make a song for the world. We have to make a song they're going to accept in Spain. We have to make a song that's going to go platinum in Canada. We didn't go in the studio thinking that way. We went in the studio to create music that we normally make every day, and music that we love. Funny enough, when we created Fall, I think I did about 4 songs that week, and that was like the least song we were all interested in. So we just kind of picked Fall. You know what I'm saying? We shot the video and it came out today, one of my biggest records. So it's just like, you can't go in there thinking like, oh, there's a way to do this. There's a certain way you have to sing. There's a certain way you have to, you know what I'm saying, to get the validity of the Western world.
Next, Davido opens up about how grief impacted his latest body of work. I caught a ride with Davido as he headed to the music video set. During the drive, I learned a bit about his album making process.
I already have the next album done.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I had to pick out of 62 songs for this time.
I see.
So imagine, then we narrowed it down to 20 songs. Then we narrowed it down to, what? It's 18, 17?
Is it difficult then, if you have 62 songs and you're trying to narrow it down to the songs that will make the album, is that difficult?
It's the hardest process ever. Because it's like today is like, you know what I'm saying, I want this one, and then in 2 weeks it's like, you don't feel it no more, you want another one. And then the next 2 months it's like, yo, why did we take that song off?
Let's put it back in.
Yeah. Finally on the set, field video shoot, my first video shoot in a year. 1 year I ain't shot a video, but yeah, we ready to get back to work. Let's go.
Davido took time away from music and much of public life to deal with the tragic loss of his young son in October. While his new album remains mostly joyful and upbeat, he says it was partly inspired by what he went through.
The album, to me, had 3 phases. You know what I'm saying? Before my son passed, we finished the album. The album was done. You know what I'm saying? Even like most of the songs that we didn't come to make this album like, oh, we're sad. Obviously, it was a tragic situation. But you know what I'm saying? I still had to like be strong for everybody. Not only my wife, my family, my dad, her family, my son that's watching us. Do you understand? I know that at the end of the day, people would want David to be on stage again eventually. People would want me to be able to make the thousands of people happy that I do on a daily. Do you understand? I know that deep down, like, that's what people would have wanted. So obviously, like, I really had to really calm myself down. You know what I'm saying? Take a step back. And this has showed me that I was really born to do music. Do you understand? Because this situation will break anybody. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how you love it. So this situation has shown me that for us to be able to come back and regroup ourselves, gather ourselves, and be strong enough to deliver this record, I feel like that's what we're here to do. That's what we're brought to do in this world. I'm just ready to get back. I'm ready to just, you know, go back on the road. A lot of things are going to be different, you know. But music-wise, you know, on the album you will hear a couple, you know, songs that, you know, might, you know, take you back and, you know, into some emotions. But don't get me wrong, we still came with them bangers, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, that's what we know how to do. Right. You know, if you listen to Afrobeat music, apart from like Fela that used to talk politically and stuff like that, you don't really hear bad things in Afrobeat, African music. It's always, you know, love, joy, and just excitement, you know. So with this record, you definitely hear, you know, me talk about a couple things that I've been through personally, but you're also gonna dance, you're also gonna, you know, smile, you're also gonna, you know, hear some cheeky songs. You're also gonna hear some songs that you're like, yo, David is stubborn. You're also going to hear some songs where it's everything. You know what I'm saying? It's everything. Like I said, we took our time, and yeah, we're ready for the world to hear it.
It's incredibly brave that you're out here performing again, making music, going back on tour. I think you must have seen the outpouring of support from around the world, people that just enveloped you in love, because no one can imagine the tragedy and the loss of somebody's own child, and I think people, your fans around the world, have been waiting for this moment.
Bro, like, one thing that I'd say has helped, it was the support, you know what I'm saying, from everybody. Like, I've had people that I haven't spoken to in years, and it's just, you know, nobody would want that, and everybody knows that me and Chioma didn't deserve that. If anybody in the world even like kind of deserved that thing, like we didn't deserve that.
Because everybody's heart broke for you and for Chioma.
So we just, you know what I'm saying, like, personally with me, like the support that I got from people was one of the things that helped me stand up again. I remember I couldn't open my Instagram for like 3 weeks. I was like, on my one day I was like, yo, bring my phone, let me just check it. And then I just checked it, and I just saw, like, from every kind of person in the world you can imagine, from politician to sportsman to other musicians to presidents.
Right.
So like, that was one thing that really, really, you know, made me, like, you know, strong enough to stand up again, get back in the studio, and then, you know, get back to what I do and what I love.
Now that he's back to doing what he loves, he says the goal is to keep the Davido energy going.
People tell me, my family tells me, I've been at home for almost 6 months, so it's just like, it's crazy. Everybody knows, like, when you wake up, you want to run to Davido's Instagram story, see what he's done today and stuff like that, and, you know. But yeah, I just want them to feel like love is back, energy is back, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I might not be able to fill the void to heal everything in the world, but I feel like the album is gonna do its part.